when you look at it, Leicester showed the better quality there. They need to find a little bit more rhythm down the course of the line, the course of the campaign. But take into consideration, it's the first game of the season. Not going to go perfectly well. It rarely does. They've ground out a victory there, showed some quality at times. Will there be? Well, the manager will be looking for improvements for sure, and so will the players expect it of themselves. But job done eventually, and just about deservingly so.
It is all smiles at a sunny King Power Stadium on day one. Full-time, Leicester City 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
Thank you very much, John. Yes, game one, win one for Martí Cifuentes and the Foxes. We can see these pictures, though, now of the players. Well, look like they're about to do a lap of honour, so we'll keep the pictures on for you. Martí Cifuentes did a lap himself pre-match, got a great reception. He's going to do another one post-match now with a number of the players for the supporters that have stayed in. Steve Howard and Jerry Taggart are alongside me in the studio here. We are going to assess what we've just seen in that 90 minutes. A win is a win, though, guys, and these players can go around the pitch celebrating getting 3 points in the first game back in the Championship.
Absolutely. It's always nice to get your first win. You know, set your stall out straight away with a win, which is much better second half performance from the boys. I think it was more urgency, and then, you know, when they passed the ball about quicker, you know, they created things, and then obviously they're sending off, and they just turned the screw and obviously got the win.
Yeah. As the cliche says, it's a game of two halves. And Leicester were a different side in that second half. And all you can do first game of season is win it, and especially when it's at home, and they've managed to do that. So yeah, congratulations to the guys. Yeah,
Matt Elliott is still with us. Matt, you're watching this lap of honour in front of you, and they've got the win today, and I think you summed it up yourself there. Obviously, it was a huge difference, wasn't it, from the first half to the second? And I said it at half-time, it reminds me a lot of what we saw against Coventry 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it's fair comment to suggest that or reflect upon that, and similar outcome. I suppose the obvious line is, hopefully a similar outcome come the end of the season. Long way to go between now and then. But yeah, I think there's rightly so. I think there's an air of expectancy about Leicester City this year. Again, there was disappointment of last campaign, but there's been a new manager. There's a new, not atmosphere, but a new mentality, if you like. And all of a sudden, these players, you look at the squad, it's a very capable squad in this division, and there's a positivity around the ground. It's not scepticism or negativity round, or no one's sort of doubting it. I think there are a number of issues going on in and around the club, but what they see on the field of play and the players that are here and the manager that they've got gives the supporters a bit of confidence, and there's a buoyancy about the stadium today here at the King Power, and eventually that was matched by the performance.
Hi Matt, it's Jerry here. What do you think was the changing factor in that second half for Leicester City to get over the line and get the 3 points?
Well, I think you touched on it at half-time, and Batesy asked the question, didn't he, saying, I felt Sheffield Wednesday, I thought they were excellent, like their commitment, their endeavour, and their sort of physicality about the game as well, and they looked up for the challenge. They seemed to be playing at their absolute maximum, Tags. I don't know what you thought, and to do that over the course of the whole game is difficult, especially when they're quite they're quite sparse in terms of genuine Championship players out there, and injuries took its toll, and the efforts of playing against a good team like Leicester seemed to take its toll a bit. But as well as that, I think Winks makes a difference. For me, it didn't do anything sort of absolutely crucial in terms of the goal scoring situations, but his general influence gave a different feel. I mean, from the first 15 seconds of the second half, he got on the ball 3 times, and they'd angled diagonal passes with a bit of zip, a bit of purpose, and that filters its way through the team. And generally Leicester just upped their game a little bit, as Sheffield Wednesday just flagged a little, didn't they? And I think their resources were pushed to the max.
Yeah, but we're seeing a lot of smiles as Matt's talking, Steve, aren't we, from the group and from, just as I say that, Martin's got a frown on his face, but he's clapping the fans still, and there's been a lot of smiles, hasn't there? And I think that the players, the staff, everyone amongst them are aware of the importance of that victory. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody's, they needed that today. Obviously after last season, put it to bed, and like we said, it's always nice to start off with a win and a good performance second half, and just showed Harry Winks there. I think he got man of the match, but I totally agree with Matt. Changed the game. He started playing balls forward, bit of urgency. Made people run for him and forward runs, and I think he was the key. And obviously, I think it was just a lot on Sheffield Wednesday today. I thought they did ever so well, Sheffield Wednesday. Even when they're down to 10 men, they still tried. But obviously, it was just Leicester was just too good for them. Yeah,
I think it just sort of sums it up. Harry Winks been on the pitch 45 minutes. I think that's a little bit harsh though on Abdel Fattawi.
Okay.
I think he was a constant thorn today. And in the first half, he was being double manned. Yeah, down that right hand side. In the second half, he got a little bit more freedom, and he showed really what he's all about. I thought he was excellent today as well. And he's one of those players as well. He's got that edge about him, which me and Steve both like in a player. And he's one of the very few players that have that edge. I think El Khanous is another one that have that edge that if it doesn't happen for them, it annoys them.
Yeah.
It gets to them. So they say, give me the ball, let me go again. And
it's a sign of a good player.
It's nice to see in the modern game, because you don't get that a lot in the modern game. But it's like Jerry said, you can tell he cares, and that's a huge part of being successful at a place like this.
But I thought Harry Winks was excellent. I think.
Do you agree with him? Clearly, it was the broadcasters there have given him the man of the match. Mm-hmm. Do you agree with that?
Well, I
think maybe Fattawi.
I think he was the big difference in the second half. Because of his composure, his array of passing. Even though it's quite simple, as Matt was saying, he doesn't do anything spectacular, but it's just the way he goes about his business. And it might be 10, 15 yards here and there, but it's the right pass at the right time.
He's always looking to play forward as well.
Yes, and he's always looking to correct. He's always looking to play forward, or he's setting up a pass to get it back to then go forward.
Yeah.
So he was definitely, a big influence on that second half.
Yeah, Jordan Ayew, Matt definitely deserves a mention, I think, for his performance today, doesn't he? He always is willing to get the ball, to hold it up. That run to set up Patson Daka's effort was fantastic, wasn't it? I think a few people were questioning, should he have given it earlier, but turns out he waited and played the perfect cross.
I think he must have had a few Lucasades at half time, didn't he, on that one? But yeah, that came out from absolutely nowhere, didn't it? But I mean, athleticism and striding up the pitch is not something you associate with Jordan Ayew and his game, but he showed he's got it there if necessary. That was an incredible run, evading a few challenges and then produced quality at the end of it as well. I think it can be highly effective in this division. I think with the players, the two wide players, and if Khanous is around as well, you've got a lot of athleticism, quality and energy around those three, and he can play his part, as you say, linking up. I think he's very intelligent, he uses his body well, and he's very aware of what's around him. And then when that ball is bounced off him, whether it's to a midfielder or a wide player, to get himself in and around the box, he's a very decent finisher when presented with opportunities. He won't outstrip and outrun and outmaneuver. He's actually quite intelligent with his movement, but he won't put the fear of God into defenders. But he can be that. He can be the starting touch, but he can also be the finishing touch as well. Once the balls are produced from out wide and runners in supporting areas, and while I think Leicester will need an option throughout the course of the season, I think he could provide. He could turn out to be a crucial cog, I think, for Leicester City, because he has that experience as well.
Hopefully so. All right, well, we'll say bye to you, Matt. Thank you very much for your company and your commentary this afternoon on Leicester's first game of this new season. Maybe he needs to stick on it, Jerry, if Leicester get the 3 points. You probably want to stay in here, leave Matt on commentary through the season.
He's more than welcome to go to Huddersfield and then Preston if he wants to.
Yeah, we'll touch upon the games coming up maybe a little bit later, and we'll speak about a couple of the other individuals. But a word, Jerry, for the man behind you on that screen there.
Yeah.
Martin Cifuentes, a great celebration clearly there, and means a lot to him, doesn't it, I think, getting that first victory. And you wanted action at half-time, and you got it.
Yeah, and a big half-time team talk because things weren't going according to plan. And that's a championship for you.
That's a championship.
Because teams will work you out. Teams like Sheffield Wednesday, who will try and work you out and will try and stop you playing the way you want to play. And they did that pretty successfully at half-time. So then it's a manager's job to get in at half-time and sort that issues out. And he certainly did that. So again, fair play to the manager. And hopefully there's a little bit of momentum with that win today. A difficult game. Difficult win. Again, we spoke about that. There's going to be loads of these games this season. Teams are going to sit back, make it difficult because Leicester are one of the favourite teams in this league, and Leicester have to be able to work out a way of breaking down these teams that want to come and just sit back and soak it up.
I think it was the case of 2 seasons ago when they got promoted. It was, there was a lot of teams came to the King Power and sat. And they had to work it out, and to do that, and that's what the championship's really all about. Because obviously, Leicester's going to be one of the favourites to go up, so teams are going to do that. But I thought the second half was good today. And we didn't even it was a warm day today as well. It was really really warm. So that fair play to the lads. They went right at the end and obviously got the result they need, which, like I said, at the first game is brilliant. 2
set pieces, Steve, as well, and they actually looked bright and dangerous pretty much from a lot of the set pieces that they had. They had that Yannick Vestergaard chance as well in the first half that was from a set piece. That the El Canoe shot from the edge of the box came as a result of Sheffield Wednesday not clearing another corner.
I mean, you got Vestergaard in there and Coley. I mean, 2 big lads. You want them to put the ball in there and get them to create chances to bounce. Where went to the edge of the box with Canoe and he just put it wide, but. That's what they're in for. That's what they should be doing. Causing havoc in there because, like I said, used the size to their advantage. And of course, at the end, then Faz has come up and stuck one in, which is a good finish. Actually, to be fair, Vestergaard was a good finish.
2 very good finishes. You got to say, Vestergaard again under
did
pressure.
Well with his feet.
Ball was under his feet. He didn't panic. He didn't try and just have a shot trying to dig it out from under him. He takes that extra touch, and then he's on it in a flash. And pokes it away. And obviously, Walt Fass's header, he lets the pace of the ball. He steers it towards goal. He doesn't try and generate any pace with his neck muscles to then go and lash at it. He does it correctly. Just steer it towards goal. You're 6 yards out. If it hits the target, there's a good chance it's going to go in, and it did.
I mean, that's the thing when a ball's whipped in like that, when it's got the pace on the ball. All you have to do is direct it because when it comes off your head, it's going at some pace and. The keeper just didn't have a chance. He didn't see it until it was past him.
I mean, you both scored plenty headers in your careers. Is that a difficult thing to do, especially that moment in a game, first one of the season? You want to get that win. Is it hard to not be like, I'm going to just?
Well, sometimes it's all about timing, isn't it?
Yeah.
All just the timing of the ball, and you never leave. It never leaves you really.
Okay.
So it's when a ball's put in the box with a lot of pace and you can just direct it. I mean, that's the ideal. It's when you've got to generate the pace to a ball. That's when. That's when you'll start missing things.
Good to see the supporters today, Joey, wasn't it? They erupted, didn't they, when that winner went in?
No, absolutely. And I think overall, we were debating the second yellow for Barry Bannon. And it wasn't like a really bad challenge, but he has gone in with his studs up. And really, he shouldn't have done that.
No.
He shouldn't have, because he was on a yellow card. So, but he's probably done that because he's desperate to win the ball. And unfortunately, Father Time's caught up with him a little bit and he's probably feeling the pace of the game. And that was all down to how Leicester performed in the second half. It just wasn't, even with 11 men, you could see that Sheffield Wednesday were tiring. They had a couple of players on the ground at the same time. I think one of them pulled his thigh muscle or it was a muscle injury anyway. So I don't know what I was trying to say about that. But no, what I was trying to say is, so you've got to say that Leicester overall deserved that win. The first half, okay, but as we'll say, it is a game of two halves. And half-time, team talks are that important in this day and age, that if things aren't going well and you're not playing the way you want to play because of the opposition, then you have to find another way around that.
Would Leicester, with hindsight, have been disappointed had they not got the winner, do you think, today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. 100%.
Because of the way the game
I think
went.
you look
Not
at the
just
chances.
not just the outside everything that was going on. I mean on the 90 minutes of action.
Yeah, I think you look at the chances. I mean, you give Jordan Ayew a mention. He slips El Khanous in brilliantly with a little slide rule return pass, one-touch return pass. And you're thinking, he's got to score there. Keeper makes a good save, but really El Khanous. And there was the Patsendacker header as well, and a couple of other half chances. And then obviously Fast comes up with that. Well, I know the El Khanous chance was after Fast had scored, but what I'm trying to say is they had enough
There were
chances.
moments there in the game.
They had enough chances, and really, it should have been 3 or 4-1 and not 2-1. But as I said, it's the first game of the season. They've got themselves over the line. They can breathe easy tonight.
Which they will, you'd assume.
Absolutely. You know, because you think about today, you know, with all the noise around Sheffield Wednesday, what they're doing, and you know, some of the Leicester lads would have probably been looking at them thinking, "Oh, they're going to turn up. Is this game going to be on?" So it wasn't the easiest of first games, was it? Because you know, your mind does wander a little bit, you know, when you hear things like that. But you know, fair play to them. You know, that first half probably wasn't good enough, and that's probably what you said, Beatty, about like a bit rusty. Maybe he's hit the ground running. I know Jerry disagreed, like, but
I mean, I was on about the mental side, the decision making in the leading up to the goal. I don't buy rustiness up here. With the technical side, yeah, absolutely, and the time on the passes, the pace on the ball, and all that. Your first touch might let you down, but when you're in a position where you have to make a decision and you don't make it, and it ends up being a goal, I don't buy rustiness on the mental side of the game.
Yeah.
Will Martí Cifuentes be wishing that Tuesday was a league game, Jerry, to keep that momentum going? Will he be happy that he can maybe see a couple of other players in the cup against Huddersfield?
Yeah, I think he needs to give other players some game time. He needs to see them. I know we've seen them a bit over pre-season, but now we're into the big stuff, the real stuff. And I think it's a perfect opportunity to maybe get some of the other younger players in that we've seen little snippets of, and maybe say, okay, you know what, let's give them a go on Wednesday night at Huddersfield. You know, we'll have to wait and see. But, you know, I think there's still some ironing out needs to be done as well. You know, I don't think he'll walk off the pitch. He'll be absolutely delighted with a win. But even from what we've seen, you know, making subs at half-time, that aren't injuries, but because things aren't going well. You know, that's not what a manager wants to do. He's been forced into that because his pre-match plan hasn't gone to plan, and he's had to roll the dice early doors, and that's not something a manager really wants to do.
I think that's good of him. You know, I'm quite impressed with that because he's obviously come in at half time and thought, right, that ain't working. Right, we're going to change it, and that's what a good manager does. It'd be interesting to see what he said at half time. See if I can't really picture him being a shouter and a screamer.
By all accounts, he when he needs to, he can be.
Right, fair play. So he might have done that at half time because he came out with a different team, and obviously he's tweaked it. And like Jerry says, his tactics didn't work first half, and then he's changed it obviously and got the win. So I think he'd be delighted, but he will sit back tonight and watch the game again and go, we should have been better than that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then in a week's time, or just under a week, it's Preston away, Jerry. And,
yeah.
I think it was a draw they got against QPR yesterday. So they will be coming off the back of that, thinking they're still waiting for their first win. Leicester will be bouncing up to Lancashire, do you think?
You'd like to think so, but again, it's okay if you take the League Cup out of it. And I don't mean any disrespect to the League Cup. I mean, if there are changes and the same 11 don't play on Wednesday night, they play it today, then it's obviously there's a bit more pressure on because it's their first away game. Preston isn't the easier grounds to go to in your first away game. And so, yes, momentum, but understanding that this is going to be as hard as, if not harder than the game they've just played today at home. And that's the mindset is, well, you thought that was bad. You thought that was a hard game. While you got up to Preston on Saturday, because, you know, that is a proper, you're going to have to dig deep to get anything out of that.
Final word from you both then on today's game overall and the day and the occasion, the fact that it was the manager's first game in charge, the first game of the season has been won, 3 points secured at home.
Oh, absolutely. You know, impressive second half the way they did. You know, Leicester's in a good position because, you know, if they can add to the squad, you know, you're thinking you're gonna add players to that squad, and you know that'll give everybody a lift, give every fans a lift, the whole club a lift, the players a lift. So, and then as Jerry says, if he plays, you know, a few new faces in the cup game, you never know. Sheffield Wednesday will be sitting there thinking, well, you know, this squad's decent. You know, with a little 1 or 2 additions, I think it's good stead.
Yeah, I think, you know, we've got enough players anyway to change the whole 11 for Wednesday night. But yeah, listen, as we said, you know, it's you're going in slightly into the unknown every time you start a new season. You know, you don't really know as an individual what you're coming up against and what's changed in the off season with the opposition team. So for them to come away with 3 points, in which was a very difficult game then, you know, full credit to them because they kept at it. The second half performance was excellent.
Well, we've got that game with Huddersfield in the week coming, whether it is 11 changes, 0 changes, we don't know what it might be, but the first place that you'll find out is with us here on Match Day Live. That is away. It is a 7:45 kickoff, so we'll be on from 7:15 on Wednesday evening. Don't forget that there are passes available for you. So you international seasonal passes available for just £140. That will be your game pass, so you can watch the games with us on Fox's Hub. And there are listen live passes available for everybody, wherever you are, particularly here in the UK. That means you can listen to every kick of action throughout this season. Big thank you though to Matt Elliott and John Dunn on commentary for us today. Thanks to Steve Howard and to Jerry Taggart for their company here in the studio. But as you can see from the man behind them on the screen there, Martí Cifuentes, his first game in charge of Leicester City has ended with his first win as manager of Leicester City. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll be back on Wednesday, then again on Saturday. But game 1, win 1. Goodbye.